Hey Maniacs, it's Lace here. And today's Lace's Rants and Raves is about what makes a father a daddy. What makes a father a daddy is by his children. Now, don't get me wrong, there are guys out there that actually has at least one or two children. Some of you don't have children at all. But the ones that don't have children, you need to step aside. This ain't for you. The ones that do have children, listen up. Number one, all guys that has a child is a father because you helped create a beautiful child. You helped create a life that, with your help, that life became new. That life became something that you helped. Now, you had more help. You weren't alone in this, but in the same essence, as far as being a father, that child will know your voice. Your child will know who you are. But at the same time, it's got to take a lot of special qualities to be a daddy. Now, if you're just going to do sperm donating and all that other junk and walk out the door, then you don't even deserve to be sitting here in front of your computer watching this blog. Why? Just because you have some problems with the girl that you slept with doesn't mean that child has to suffer. That child was created by you. That child was created by you and that significant other. What makes a father a daddy? Any guy can be a father, but it takes someone special to be a daddy. Why does this bother me? Why does this piss me off? Maybe it's because I am a daddy. Maybe it's because I take care of my kids. Maybe it's because I make sure my kids have food, water, shelter. I make sure my kids have clothes, shoes on their feet. I make sure that they have a roof over their head. I make sure that they're taken care of. That's what makes me a daddy. I play with my kids. I make sure that my kids have fun watching cartoons. I even make voices with them so that way they can laugh. What makes me special is the fact that my kids know who I am and they care about me and I care about them and they know for a fact that I am a daddy. But there are some of you out there who aren't a daddy. There are some of you out there that would rather call social services on the person that's taking care of your kids instead of helping them out. You would rather sit there and call social services on them and sit there and let them fight social services off while your children are being taken away. You would rather call social services on your children just because their mom is not cutting it. The reason why that mom is not cutting it is because you're not helping and you're not putting your 2 cents in. Then you say, but Lace, why do I have to get involved? She has nothing to do with me, so why should I get involved? Because you helped create that child, dumbass. You helped create that child. You were the one that helped with that child. You created it. Your nutsack was the one that bore that little egg, or that little sperm that went through that little tube into that womb to create that life. Now, fathers, I'm not talking about the ones that admits that they can't. Now, some fathers admit that they can't take care of children. And I'm not talking about that. If they want to put their children up for adoption, so be it. If they can't take care of them, that's fine. At least they admit it. But at the same time, those people, those guys that would love to sit there and type up some stupid shit to where your kids are affected by it is bullshit. It's bullshit. What makes a father a daddy? Takes courage, strength, leadership. It takes a lot of things. It takes heart. It takes heart. It takes mind. What makes me a daddy to my kids is because I take care of my kids. I make sure my kids are fed. I make sure they're clothed. I make sure that there's shelter over their heads. And I do everything I can to keep them at bay, to keep them to come up to me and say, "Hey, Daddy, play with us," or "Play with us, Daddy." That's what makes a daddy. What doesn't make a daddy is for you to sit there on your dead ass and not do a damn thing while that mama is busting her ass raising her children, raising your child. That pisses me off more than ever because your child is over there, over somewhere, being taken care of by its mama while you sit on your dead ass and not do a goddamn thing. Oh, the child support's in the mail. Big fucking whoop-de-doo if you pay your damn child support. Does that child have Medicare? Does that child have dental? Does that child have life insurance? Does that child have everything you want to give them? Because if you don't have all that, if you're not providing that child food, if you're not providing that child anything else but sitting there with a damn child support check, then you got something else to think about. You need to get off your dead ass and do something for a change instead of sitting there like a knot on a fucking log. That child deserves to have a daddy. And let somebody else help raise him, that person's going to be a much bigger daddy than you will be, because that child will look up to that other person and say, "That's a daddy." You'll be known as just a parental unit. Or even worse, you'll be known as by your first name, whatever your name is. The main thing that you have to worry about being a father is that child is taken care of. I keep looking down because I'm looking at my screen here for my seconds and stuff because I don't want to run out of time. But what makes a daddy special? You nurture that child, you take care of that child, and more importantly, you make sure that child is special. Fathers, be a hero to your children. Be a daddy this weekend. And not just this weekend, do it every day. Do it every single day. Stop letting other people raise your children and actually take advantage of something that you might not get a chance to do when that child grows up. Because if you're not a part of that child's life now, you won't ever be a part of that child's life at all. What makes a father a daddy is by his children, by his kids. If you're proud of your kids, if you're proud to have a child, then go help them. I'm Lace, and I said that, and I'm a daddy.